Okay. All in all, 17 guys out today. You guys know the out for season guys. And then Seymour did not go. Jordan Simmons is still sick. DJ Morgan's knee was not as bad as we initially thought, but he did not go. But he's going to be okay. Marquise is still not cleared. And Darius Rogers and Cody Skeen ended up out. He couldn't go. Probably the best day by the offense, I would think, as far as having a good balance of running the ball and throwing the ball downfield, especially with the ones, which is something that the one defense had kind of really, over the course of spring, handled the one offense. But I thought today that was the best day by the offense. I thought the quarterbacks were very accurate, especially the two older guys. Max Brown only had two pass attempts. That wasn't on purpose. He got sacked a few times, but I thought the older guys were really accurate, and Max had a ball dropped on a post, or else his numbers would have been better. They threw the ball downfield well, and Nelson Aguilar again, as he seems to do every day, made some really big plays.
Do you have any concerns about your secondary at this point? I mean, I know you lost some experience and stuff, but what are they showing you at this point?
Yeah, we have a lot of concern at corner right now, and it showed up today. Three go routes today in man coverage, where guys got beat. So Kevon not out there hasn't helped either. The early departure of Nikel really hurt us. For a guy that's not going to be a first-round draft pick. That was kind of the experience we were hoping was going to be coming back. So we'll make the best of it. But we've got a lot of good safeties, really. Especially if we were to move Dion back there, and once Gerald gets healthy. But we got to. They're not going to come out of somewhere. So we got to play better with the guys we have and get them better, coach better.
Where do you feel like you are with the quarterbacks with those two?
I thought they both, like I said, did really well today. Handled things well. Acker did really well in the red zone scrimmage at the end there. So it's good. Let them keep going, and hadn't separated itself. And if it doesn't, we'll just keep plugging away.
How'd you like the way the Oklahoma kind of forward combination stuff did at the beginning there?
Yeah, I think anytime you can get out of that without major injuries, you feel good. Obviously that's a toughness drill. Especially, we kind of do it different than people. We don't put a blocker on the deep guy, the deep safety, which is unusual. So he really kind of has a free hit on the back. Just more of our, bringing back our attitude and style of play, and got a lot of reps out of it and got out of there without injuries.
How do you think they seemed to take to it?
They were excited. Yeah, we had shown, if we had not done that since our first year here, and so we showed them a film of that from 3 years ago. What it looked like, and so they were kind of excited in the meetings to get to it. They knew it was coming, and it's kind of crazy for us showing a film of 3 years, how much changes from coaches to players. And Jarvis Jones was on the sidelines in a jersey, and Armstead was in there. It was just Malik Jackson. It was interesting to go back 3 years and show that to the guys.
What are your impressions after 3 weeks? What do you like seeing, and what do you want to accomplish over the next 2 weeks, last 2 weeks?
Well, we really like our first front seven for the most part. We really like the mid-years and what they've been able to do, probably led by, Sua, Justin, and Max. And we really still have concerns with the offensive line, even though they had their best week this week, especially the last 2 days. And we have a huge concern at corner. And then really, as we know, part of what we're in, it's going to be for, we've been saying the same thing for years, we're always going to have depth concerns, of trying to, find some reps here and there, whether it's a walk-on or, somebody, just to buy some reps.
What did you make of the offensive line this week with Marcus at center and Max at left guard?
I thought the last 2 days have gone really well, especially with Marcus. Max sometimes, he's still young, so he gets overpowered. So, he has to play against Leonard Williams half the snaps in there. So I thought that the best thing was Marcus's transition in there and how well that's gone.
Will you stick with that, or will you switch back? Or
I think that the way it's going, we're pretty much headed with Marcus as the center.
Talk about what you saw at Jaleel Penner.
Jaleel had a really good week. We really challenged that position group, specifically the fullbacks, which there's only one of them now. And challenge him to be more physical, because we really thought the first couple of weeks we weren't seeing that, and had shown some plays of that, and Jaleel really responded to that, and actually showed some of his plays this week in the meetings about where he really got more aggressive and got an attitude about himself. So it was good to see, because we need to get that out of our fullback position. We lacked that last year, definitely.
Did the lack of depth today in fullback and tight end kind of allow the defensive line to get more pressure?
No, I thought actually they did. The offense did pretty well. Probably their best day as far as controlling the rush, and some got there late, especially with the twos. But we only have one fullback and two tight ends, so there aren't that many things you can do really personnel-wise.
Is Simi going to be on offense to give you a little second guy if you need one? Or something?
Yeah, we brought Simi over so that we'd have somebody over there, but obviously that's not a real quick transition.
One more.